Over the weekend, the Las Vegas Raiders announced the signing of Darnay Holmes, a former New York Giant and a corner that spent some time with Patrick Graham. And I got to be honest with you, I know we're a little bit late to the ball on this one, but I'm still really excited for the signing. In fact, I think this could end up being a huge signing for the Las Vegas Raiders because you can never have too many good corners, as evident by pretty much every good team in the NFL. They've got a good depth at the cornerback position, and I do think that, especially when you're in a division with Patrick Mahomes, makes some sense, right? And so going to give you a little bit of a background on Darnay Holmes. So was a 3-year starter over there at UCLA. Actually graduated high school a little bit early to be to kind of get a little bit more high school credits, and graduated early as well from college. Overall finished his career with 8 career interceptions for 61 yards. Also had a couple of pick sixes, 20 total pass deflections as well. And as you can see also with the tackle total, not afraid to get after it in the run game with 121 total tackles. Also had 3 tackles for loss. And, was a guy coming out that was a little bit on the shorter side. You'll see here, came out weighing buck 95 as well as was 5'10". Was a 4th-round pick by the Giants and ran a 4.48 at the combine, looking pretty good and all that stuff. But as far as the player analysis, this was according to Lance Zierlein. So he was a projected 3rd to 4th-round pick, and the Giants got him in the 4th there, so right in line with what you're thinking. Overview: a short, strong cornerback with good aggression, but troubling tape in terms of staying connected to routes. Tight hips and a lack of coverage instincts are a challenging combination for a cornerback who can be over-responsive to route movements. He plays with good toughness and decent ball skills, but he lacks functional length and struggles to flip hips and reach top gear quickly, which could make him a sitting duck against vertical challenges. Strengths: self-starter. We covered the fact that was around the football a lot. Also had some kick return value as well. And again, the weaknesses are there. Like, he's not a 6'2" belt buckle to belt buckle type cornerback. That's just not his game. But he is fantastic in terms of just being around the football. And I do think that some of his instincts, even though that it wasn't great coming up out of college, he did have a lot of success with Patrick Graham, and I think you could find a way to replicate that, because you'll see here in 2021, really got a lot of playing time and everything, and this was arguably his best year in the NFL. Was targeted a total of 30 times, only allowed 21 catches for 220 yards, no touchdown, 1 pick, had a 77.1 quarterback rating when thrown at. And so, he's one of those guys that was pretty stout in coverage, could play in the slot as well as the outside. And, do I think he's a belt buckle in a shutdown corner and a number 1 starter, just like a Sauce Gardner stud? No, I don't think that that's his game. However, I think he's a solid depth piece, and I think that if needed, he could come in and play some meaningful snaps at cornerback, depending on what happens with Jack Jones as well as Jacorian Bennett. And so, Darnay Holmes, I think that especially the fact that he's coming back where he had most of his career success with Patrick Graham, and you're coming back and you're not going to be like pushed into being a starter. The fact that the Raiders are pretty set at corner, at least. I think that they've got some good depth pieces overall, but or they've got some good starters. But this is a tremendous depth piece, especially behind a guy like Nate Hobbs, who, he's a stud at the slot cornerback position in his own right. So Darnay Holmes, I think, is going to get an opportunity to come in and do some really special things with the Raiders. And, I think that it never hurts to have another guy that can run, that can cover, and do some different things for you. And so I think the fact that he can play outside and inside really does help. And also the fact he's a plus special teamer. He's a guy that really did come in and do some really good things for the Giants from a special teams perspective. And, I do think that, when we talk about what we love about him, yes, it's that he's aggressive. He gets after the football, and sometimes that aggressiveness can be a little bit much when you're trying to coach him up and everything, and you don't want him to be too aggressive. But I do think that does. You would rather have a corner or a defensive player, for that matter, be too aggressive as opposed to try to get them ramped up. Number 2, he does have an eye for the football. Had 8 career interceptions in college and everything, and then came into the NFL, and he's also got a total of 4 career interceptions in the NFL. So turnovers are always a big time thing in the NFL. So I think the fact that he can get after it in that regard is huge. He's a plus special teamer. So, like, worst case, he's a really good special teamer. The best case is he's a guy that could potentially turn into an average starter for you, or maybe even a little bit above average starter for you, and give you some really good reps there. I think he's a low risk, high reward guy that, again, worst case, depth piece and very high end special teamer led. I think he was second on the Giants in special teams tackles last year, and he's also a high reward guy. So I do think that this signing makes a lot of sense for the Raiders. And then also, I think it's that cornerback versatility that we talked about, inside and outside versatility that he can go ahead and do. And so, no, I'm really excited for what Holmes is going to bring to the Raiders secondary, and I think it's a solid pickup by the Raiders front office. But overall, let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and we'll see you in the next video.